Hello. Uh, so I have commented everything which you just saw. I've commented everything, and I will be animating this object, moving it here and there, and whatever wherever I want to, which is the work of this main.js, right? This is a lot of it, and for first I have to get an element. I need to have an element, which I actually have. This is the div which have a id n. That means I can use it. I can animate it. For animating, first we have to convert an element to object. For that, I will say n let n equals to, then we have to use a function known as objectify. So I have to use a function known as objectify to convert a I have to use a function known as objectify to convert a normal element to an animatable object. Animatable might not be a real word, or it might be, but you know what I want to say. So for that I have to write a function known as objectify. We have to pass the element document dot get element by id. Is its id is n. We have to pass this element, and also if we want to pass uh, qualities like mass of it, let's say if mass is 1 kg, and that's all qualities. Now it has n is an object, animatable object. This objectified function has converted it into an object. Then we can animate using functions like nm dot uh, for example, if I want to accelerate this, right? Accelerate. For that also I have to first define a vector in which position I want it to accelerate. Let's define my vector equals to vector dot define. If I define a vector goes from 0 to 0, that is from here to let's say 300, 0 comma 0 to 300 comma 200, means the vector would be like in this direction, right? Okay. That would be in this direction. So now if I want it to accelerate, then I have to use a function known as nm dot accelerate. Okay. Now first we have to pass the object, which is n, or let's say it's element rather than n. So first I have to pass the object, which is element, right? After that I have to tell it how much acceleration do I want. That is 200 pixels per second square, or let's say right 100 pixels per second square. And after that I have to tell the direction. Rather than naming it my vector, let us name it direction vector. Then I have to give it the direction vector, right? After that we have to tell that for how much time do I want it to accelerate. If I want it to accelerate for 200, let's say 2000 milliseconds, that would be 2 seconds in direction of this vector, in direction of direction vector, which were to accelerate element. How much acceleration? 100. In which direction? In direction vectors direction, for 2000 milliseconds starting from. Now it asks for what would be the starting point of it. For that we can define it to be 0 pixel, because 0 comma, because if we even start from 100 comma 100 comma 0, that would be like here somewhere. Then also we can go in the direction of the vector, because a vector parallel to the vector with same length is the same vector. Fine. And after that here comes a callback function. A callback function which is only executed when the animation completes. It uh, two parameters x and y are passed. X is the position of the element when the acceleration, when the animation is complete, and y is the position, y coordinate of position of element when the acceleration is when the animation is complete. Okay, so we can write here console.log uh, acceleration animation complete with x and y equal to x comma y, right? Then let's see how what it does. So it does accelerate, and if we check the console, we can check acceleration animation complete with x is equals to x and y equals to 169 and 113. If we even check, it's 168.899 and 112. I have made it to round off. That's a simple bit of pixels, because then it becomes really easy for browser to perform the CSS operations. And also, if I want that it should accelerate till here, and then it should accelerate back towards 0 comma 0, then I can also do that, because it's a callback function. It takes anything as its callback, right? So it takes anything as its callback. That would be the ending of this function, uh, like this. Yeah, yes. Now fine. And rather than from 0 comma 0, I want the animation of, let's say, let us not accelerate this function after first animation. Let us give it velocity towards the vector, like towards the other towards the reverse of the direction vector. So there is a function known as vector dot reverse, which reverses the direction of the vector. Now you can see how will the animation go, right? This is how we can use it, and we can even provide a more callback function, and we can make a chain of these functions which will perform the animation in the selected animation, made animation, which will perform the animation, whatever animation. And even if I want that it should not start from the same point at which it ended, I can define some point like 100 comma y. Let's say not 100 comma y, let's say 700 comma y. Now you can see the difference, right? This is how we can use it. And also, if you really want to see what is the direction of direction vector, then there is also a new function which I created, vector dot draw. No, it was anim dot draw vector. Yes, it is direction vector. And for not 2000 millisecond, I will run it for 3000 second. Now see what will happen. Okay, I didn't define x comma y here. Right? you can make a chain of animations which will perform as the function will proceed. You can define the color if there are multiple mm, if there are multiple vectors, then you can define a color, it will change. You can see everything before your eyes. It's all vectors. And for example, if you want to run anim.force function, then it is really important to define mass. If you won't define mass, then the last animation won't work. For example, if you did, for example, we didn't define mass here, define mass. Now see, the third animation didn't run, right? It is very important in the case of force that you define mass. Otherwise, it's not gonna work. And everything here is changeable. There is no compulsion that you have to use the same vector. You can even define a new vector. For example, if I say vector dot define vector vector dot define, let's say anything. For example, if I also want to see this, how this vector looks, then I can do anim dot draw vector. Vector dot define distance and green. Okay, I think so. The vector is behind our site. If I make this smaller, then it should come right. You can see it was behind our site. And all of these calculations are being done by JavaScript, basically by your computer. I don't need this one now. And what I have seen that recently, Codium has been helped anywhere, at many places, but still I feel like that writing without it is the best way. Also, sometimes it reflects your code, but it makes some other kind of mistake or some other kind of feature that you didn't wanted, or somehow uh, misunderstood the feature, right? Then it becomes a pain. And if you tell it from to start from 100 comma 200, then it will start from there. Even if you tell it from to start from 600 comma 200, then it will start from there. This is everything.